Hello everyone, welcome to this guide on how to get set up on our new MyView app. So we're going to need a few things before we get started. First thing is the email that you receive from Pendrell's Trust welcoming you to MyView, as this will have the MyView mobile app user guide that we'll need later on. If we load it up, it should look something like this. The next thing we're going to need is two apps. So if you're on an iPhone, navigate to the App Store, and if you're on an Android device, navigate to the Google Play Store. The first thing we're going to need is an app called MyView. So it's this one here with the orange corner and the M for the logo. So if you get that one downloaded. The next thing we're going to need is the Microsoft Authenticator app, which looks like this. It has a white background, is a blue lock with a blue little person in it. There are a lot of paid authenticator apps on the App Store. Please don't use those. The Microsoft Authenticator is completely free and does exactly what we need it to do. So no apps are needed to be paid for in order to access MyView. So we get this one downloaded as well. While that's going, what we're going to need to go back to is the user guide, because this has some useful information on how to get your username, which you're going to need to log into MyView. So if you're an employer, your username becomes your comp number with ER in front of it. Your comp number can be found on the top right hand corner of your timesheet as shown in the example here. So John Smith's example, his 54321 as his comp number. So his username would be ER54321. If you're an employee, your username can be found on your payslip in the employee number column, and this doesn't have any digits in front of it, so it would just be your username. It would just be your employee number. So if your employee number is 1234, that will continue to be your username for MyView. If we scroll down, there is a link here to the desktop version of MyView, which we would need in order to set your first time password. So if we click on that link, it will ask us if we want to leave mail and open the link. We can say that's okay. And it will take you to the desktop version of MyView. So I'm going to set me up as if I'm a brand new employee so that you can follow along with me. So the first thing we're going to want to do is hit forgotten your password. And then from here we type in the username that we've either got from the timesheet with ER in front of it, or from your payslip if you're an employee with nothing in front of it. So this is my username. And then you want to hit reset my account. What that's going to do is it's going to send a temporary password email to the account that we have linked on our software. So it will just take a few seconds to come through. There it is. So you're going to get an email which has a temporary password in it, like this one. So this is my unique password here, so I find the easiest thing to do is to hover your finger over it and to copy it. You can also write it down. Please be aware though that it is case sensitive, so in this example the R, X and H would be capital letters, the U would be would be under a little letter when you type it in. So when we go back to MyView, type in your username again, like so, and then we can hold down and paste or type in the password that you've just received. On some phones it's going to ask if you want to save the password. Say not now, because it is just a temporary password. In the current password, this is again the temporary password that we've just been sent, so we can paste it in again. And it's going to ask you for a new password. You can either let your phone set it. I'm going to press not now because I want to set it myself. When you set the password, please be aware that it does require a capital letter, lowercase letters, numbers, and also a unique character. So for this example, I'm going to set it as welcome 1 2 3 4 5 exclamation mark, because that's hitting all of the required fields. It has a capital W, it has numbers in 1 2 3 4 5, and it has a special character in terms of exclamation mark. A special character can be a pound sign, an ampersand, anything like that. So we're going to set it like that, and we're going to press submit. It's going to ask you if you want to save it. That's up to you if you want to. I'm going to press not now. And then this is the stage where we are enabling the Authenticator app. So what the Authenticator app is doing is it's adding a second level of security to your account. So if someone was to guess your username and password, they would also have to have access to the Authenticator app that's linked to your mobile device in order to get access to your payslip. So it's adding a huge layer of security. So we really do recommend it. So when we press next on here, what it's going to do is it's going to generate us a QR code that we could scan. The chances are that you're probably on the mobile device that has the camera that you'd want to scan this on, so that's probably not going to be an option. So what the best thing to do is to hit show manual entry code, and this is going to give you a large code here below. You can hover your finger over it and copy all of that, or again you can just write it down if needs be. And we need this code for the Authenticator app. So if we navigate across to the Microsoft Authenticator app that we downloaded, it's going to ask you a load of privacy statements and things like this. You can just hit continue. And then in the top right hand corner here, you'll see the skip button. So you're going to want to hit skip. And that gets you to a stage where you can just add an account. So this big blue button down here where it says add account, we press that. And then we want the bottom one called other. Okay, it's going to ask you if you would like to access the camera. You can press allow, but we're not going to be scanning the QR code because we're on the phone that we would be wanting to scan it on. And then you'll see there's the blue box here that says enter code manually. So if we hit that, type in the account name, so I can do Adams MyView, and then in this secret key box we're going to want to paste the secret key that we, or type in the secret key that we wrote down just a few seconds ago, and hit finish. And that's now linked it to here. I'm going to press not now on the save password. So this code that you can see generated here is going to be required every time that you log into MyView. And as I say, this is just adding an extra step of security to it. So if we just wait for this number to tick down, because as you can see, the password refreshes every 30 seconds, I believe it is. Yeah. So this is our new code, 799294. So if we navigate back to MyView and hit next, and type in that code 799294 and hit verify, that's now linked my MyView to that authenticator, and it's logged me in here. So this has logged me into the desktop version of MyView. What we want to do now is we want to log into the app version of MyView. So if we leave here and load up the MyView app, which is here, what you want to do is load it up and hit the get started button and scroll down to where it says got a registration code. Now the registration code here for everybody is the same, and it's Penderells Trust, like that, and hit verify. It will ask if you want to use your location on some phones. I always put allow while using the app, but that's completely up to you. So now we can log in using the information that we supplied. So my username, and it's going to be the password that you set just a few minutes ago, and we hit login, and then it's going to ask you for your verification code from your app, from your Authenticator app. So if we scroll back to the Authenticator app, I always just like to wait for it to tick down to a fresh one so it doesn't time out while we're typing it in. So we've got 937871. 937871, verify, and then it's going to ask you if you want to use your phone's biometrics. So if you're on a newer iPhone, it will ask for Face ID. If you're on an Android, it will ask the same password, fingerprint recognition. We always recommend that you press allow on this, because then that means that you don't have to remember the password. So now we're in the app version of MyView. So if we were to log out of here and go back to MyView, when we log in next time, it just scans my face and it will log me straight into MyView where your payslips will be available. Thank you very much.